Akhil Gupta, who's the founder of India's first unicorn Proptech. So, hi Akhil. So, could you kind of share your background on in tier one colleges like IIT, and how did that experience play into NoBroker?
Sure. Hi, Ruhi. Thanks for having me. Yeah. So yeah, I'm one of the founders of NoBroker.com, which is India's first PropTech real unicorn. And I did my engineering from IIT Bombay way back in 2005. I passed out from IIT Bombay, and I'm a chemical engineer by degree. And to answer how much of it has played a role, I think uh, getting so when we started that time, IITs are one of the most premium institute in India, and they were the most premium institute back then, 22 years back, 25 years back, and still they continue to be the most premium institutes. And I think the most important part of being at IIT has been the learning that you can do anything and your ability to take risk. That if you cannot do it, then nobody else can do it. I think that is the most important belief which IIT was able to inculcate in us during our tenure at IIT.
Amazing. So I loved your point on how the most important part was the ability to do anything and to take risks. So now I wanted to ask you, so in creating NoBroker.com, how much risk did you actually take?
I think it was a very big risk. So when we started way back in 2013, so I think this year it will be 10 years since we started. It was August 2013. I was working with Oracle. So I passed out from IIT Bombay in 2005, and after that I started working in IT industry and learned everything about what I know about coding during my days in Oracle and the startup where I worked. So back in 13, I was thinking what exactly I need to do next. And that's when Saurabh, who's my co-founder, he came up with this idea that let's do something like this in real estate. So basically, if you see across the globe, real estate has an intermediary, which is in India, it's called broker. In UK, it may be called agent. In US, it is called agent. But typically, any real estate deal, it doesn't happen without an intermediary. And there's a cost associated with it, which is extremely high. So in India, the cost of intermediation for rental transaction is around 18% because contract is of 11 month. 1 month is paid by owner, 1 month of brokerage is paid by tenant. So 2 by 11, approximately 18%. For buying, selling, it is anywhere between 4 to 6%. So either 2% or 3% is paid by each party. And the way internet came up, so when we were in IIT, we had a fortune of having a high-speed internet connectivity in our rooms. I'm talking about 2000, 2001. And most of the use of that internet was playing games or like surfing websites like Yahoo Messenger, or playing Counter-Strike across. So basically, it was like multiplayer Counter-Strike, which was happening across different hostels, which were kilometers apart, which connected us, and which I think which somehow it remained in our mind that how internet can connect people. And by the time we passed out, there were different companies which are coming up, companies like Book My Show, Make My Trip, who were removing intermediaries and creating solutions using internet. So in 13, we thought, let's do something like this on NoBroker, where we will have a platform which is just full of genuine owners and tenants and buyers and sellers, and we'll remove the broker entity so that we can save cost for our customers. So like to do a transaction on NoBroker, you don't have to pay anything. You can literally buy a house, sell a house, rent a house for free. And we said we'll build a model on that. We'll work on scale. And when we work on scale, we'll be able to charge people for services. So it was a very big risk because nothing like this was ever done. Forget done. It was not even tried across the globe. So when we started building this platform, we didn't even know whether it's going to work. And in India, at that point of time, there were more than a dozen PropTech platforms who were doing some kind of renting, buying, selling in some ways. So going out to VCs to raise funds it was extremely difficult. Everybody was saying, okay, it looks good on paper, but will it work? Will people pay upfront for the services if you want to pay them? If this model works, why exactly it has not been done in West? Why nobody has done it in US and UK and all? So it was a big risk. It took us almost 12 to 14 months of bootstrapping to raise our first Series A round. But yeah, eventually, if you see, all the odds against us have played out well now, and we are the first Proptech unicorn from the country.
That's awesome. So I think the biggest takeaway at its core for me was that it was a big risk, and how the power of the internet, and essentially how the internet can be leveraged in such a powerful way. So it's amazing what you guys have done over at NoBroker. So I wanted to kind of understand from you. So now, at a high level, could you explain to the audience who may not be familiar with Proptech? So what exactly is Proptech?
So PropTech is nothing but a property technology in property. Basically, if you want to buy a house, you want to rent a house, you want to sell a house, or you need any services for your house, so anything related to property where technology enables a solution for you, that is PropTech. So, like on No Broker, you can, if you have a house which you want to give on rent, let's say you are in Mumbai and you have a house in Hyderabad, you can just list it on No Broker, and you can get a genuine tenant connected with you. The verification of the tenant can be done online. You can collect the rent from the tenant online. You can get the rental agreement done online. When the tenant is moving in, they can use No Broker to book packers and movers. They can move using No Brokers. When you give your house on rent, you need to paint the house. You can get the painting done via No Broker. Once you move in the house, you need cleaning services. So cleaning can be done on No Broker. If you are buying a house, you can get a property verification done. You can then get the income rent certificate. You can get the home loans about the property or for the property. So anything related to property, which is done using technology, that is a prop tech. And we are a full-fledged real estate, one-stop real estate platform where anything related to property you can get on No Broker.
That's great. So thanks very much for sharing that. And I think my biggest takeaway from all this was to have a multifaceted approach and use cases. So my next question to you is, so why exactly did you start No Broker, and how did you guys find product market fit?
Why we started No Broker? I think it was 2013, 8 years in my corporate job. I was getting bored. What needs to be done next? So I was figuring out what should I do, whether it's an MBA or something else, or whether I should move to US, which I never wanted to do for work. And so it was more of a learning. So when me and Saurabh pitched this idea to me, uh, I think the first thing which came to my mind was, if not anything, I'll learn. What will happen? Like, I will learn to create. So all my life, I had worked on B2B products before that. So I had been on the product and technology side of B2B applications like performance, sales cloud from Oracle. So I said, at least I will learn how to build a consumer facing product. And even if it doesn't work, it will give me some immense learning. And as they say, that failed entrepreneur has even more value than successful entrepreneur. So I said, I I thought that there is no downside of trying this out, and that is how No Broker started. It was more of a experiment. It was more of a learning which I wanted to get for myself, and that's how we started No Broker.
So paralleling from that, what were some of your lessons and mistakes learned building such a massive company?
So I think lot of learnings. One is, I think, in terms of learnings, one is like, how do you scale the products, correct? How do you make products which are loved by customers? How do you incorporate customer feedback and build something which can be loved by your customers? Like, when we created this platform, we thought we will just pass on the leads from the platform to different companies for cleaning, painting, moving, and all those things. And then we realized that when those companies were not able to do a good job, it's our brand which is getting bashing from the customers. People were trusting no broker, because no broker was adding a lot of value back to them by saving the money. So they thought that we'll get them a good packer and mover, we'll get them a good painter and all. And when we were not able to do it by passing on the leads to different companies, we realized that we'll have to take a full stack approach on this, where we created a managed marketplace for these partners to be on no broker platform, and then we control the transaction. So that has been one of the learning, that it's not easy, when we cannot take customer for granted by just passing on it to somebody else. Like, you cannot just treat them as a ball that you give it to somebody else. So that has been one of the learning for us in this journey.
My biggest takeaway from all this is that you can't take a customer for granted. So I wanted to now shift into, how did you guys leverage your customers' trust to start offering more services?
Sure. So I think, as I mentioned earlier, so when we started, we were just a rental platform, and that also we were just doing in two cities, Mumbai and Bangalore in India. And so, if as I mentioned, that the cost of intermediation is extremely high for rental. Let's say if you take a 25,000 rupees house on rent, the money which broker earns is 50,000 rupees. If you buy a property worth 1 crore rupees, the money what a broker earn is 400,000 rupees, which is like 4 lakh rupees, which is like very high. Like, for one property renting, you earn more than what is the per capita income of a person. For one buy sell deal, you earn multifold. You earn much more than what is the per capita income of the person in India. So we said, okay, let's change this. How do we change this? Is by creating this platform where we will not charge them anything. And that is how this journey started. And to build, sorry, I missed the question. What exactly was the question?
Question was, how did you leverage customer trust to start offering more services?
So yeah, sorry. Yeah. So basically, when we started saving money for our customers, so when people didn't pay any brokerage, tenants didn't pay any brokerage, owners didn't pay any brokerage, they saved 50,000 rupees. And when they were saving these 50,000 rupees, they were either using it for their kids' education, they were buying white goods for their houses. So when they needed other services, like they need home cleaning, they need to move, they need packers and movers. When the owner's house is being available for rent again, they need to get the house cleaned and painted. So they looked up to us. They were asking us that, okay, can you refer a person to us who can do a good job for us? When somebody was buying a property, they wanted to get an interior done. So they were looking up to no broker. And in the no trust society like India, where brokers have always they have just looted the customers. No broker was a big savior. It came as a big savior. It was a trusted party in between that transaction. And when you trust someone, you look up to them for everything. And when people started looking up to us, we realized that instead of passing on the leads, if we create a managed marketplace for all these players, all these small businessmen, like if you see in India, the painters, the cleaners, the interior guy, they are all small businessmen. And typically they look around to get jobs. They look for references to get the job. So we said, we'll get them on platform. We will verify them. We will train them. We will ensure that they always give 5-star services to our customer. And if they don't give, we will penalize them. We will not give them more business. It was a win-win for no broker, and it was a win for these partners also. They were more than happy because they didn't have to pay anything for marketing. They just have to take the business from no broker, do the top-notch service, and customer is happy. So we leveraged the trust what we were able to gain from the customers by saving money for them, and upsell a lot of other services which we started in the last 2-3 years.
My biggest takeaway from what you just talked about was your success story of how you guys defied the odds in a no trust society of India. So my next question to you is, so how did you guys pitch to Tiger Global? What do you think made that specific pitch stand out?
No, I don't know. So we have like very lot of marquee investors. It's not only Tiger. There's General Atlantic on board. There's Elevation Capital on board. There's a Singapore Japanese fund called B Next on board. And I think every pitch has been about how we are changing, how we are disrupting the real estate market by bringing in a unique solution which has never been done across the globe. And when so if you see typically on a classified, what happens is transaction always moves out of the platform. You really don't have any track of the closure. So when not only Tiger, everybody, GA, Elevation, Tiger, everybody, when they were able to see that transaction is being consummated onto the platform, we just don't know. We just don't connect the people. We also know at what price transactions are being closing. We are being able to offer them additional services after the transaction has been closed. I think it became no-brainer for them because nothing like this was ever done across the globe, and there was no other platform which could have done it at this scale. So I think our value prop was so strong that it attracted all these big mark investors to invest in NoBroker.
I think the biggest takeaway the audience can learn is how to position yourself as a disruptor in the market and how to make a no-brainer proposition to the investors. So my next few questions are, so what did it take to actually achieve unicorn status?
No, I think I have told this multiple times. But as unicorn was not even a word when we started way back in 2013. I think it came up in 15 or 16 sometime back. And I don't know if anybody works towards making a unicorn. This is just a part of a process. The goals, the journey is much, much bigger and much, much longer. And this is just a pit stop. This you can take it as a milestone, which we have achieved. And this is not the milestone for which we were working. This is not the end of the race. Race has just started. Maybe you can just take it as a stop. You can take it as a our pat on the back, somebody saying, okay, you guys are doing a good job, it's a marathon, keep running. So nothing more than that. We don't take this unicorn tag very seriously, and neither we have ever chased it, and nor we plan to chase any such fancy tag in future.
I love your humble approach towards all of this and towards all this amazing success that you've achieved with NoBroker. So my final question to you is, so how did you scale to your first 100 users? Anything that you can share on the journey or strategy?
I think first 100 user was very, very exciting. I was just building the product. One day we decided that let's go live. So we were three, me, Amit, and Saurabh. I was a technology product guy, Saurabh was a marketing guy, and Amit was an operations guy. So three of us were the complete team of NoBroker. When we went live, we were waiting. How will we get the traffic? So we worked on SEO and all those things, but it's not easy to get the first customer. So then what we used to do, we used to go to Facebook, post on different groups where people are looking for property. We used to tell our friends that we used to post it on different WhatsApp groups which were there, that something like this is available. We were asking our friends for references, tell them that they should tell their friends and family that something like this exists. But most of it happened via Facebook. We didn't even have budget to do any advertisement on Google at that point of time when we were bootstrapping. So typically identifying growth hacks. One of the thing what we did was in India, typically when you are renting your property and you don't want to engage with broker, people put to-let board, correct? So we used to go out, take the pictures of those to-let boards, come back home, call those owners and say, we have started something like this. It's totally free. Give us the details of the property. We'll list on the platform, and potential tenants will start connecting with you. So I think these were the few things what we did when we started NoBroker. So we didn't have money to do marketing. I think the maximum which we have spent per day during the bootstrapping days, which was like 12, 14 months, per day on marketing was 1,000 rupees. So we were just spending 1,000 rupees. So we had to get all kind of growth hacks to reach to maximum people in the shortest possible time.
I think the biggest takeaways for me were that you guys did a lot of cold calling and you relied a lot on Facebook and once again the internet, which helped to get you your first 100 customers. So, what's the future of NoBroker?
I think it's very bright. So we have changed the way real estate works in India. People look up to us. We are available only in 6 cities in India. So we tend to be in top 50 cities in India. Our model is extremely lean, completely technology driven. We don't need people on ground. So we can very well be available in any country in the world. And the way we have scaled the platform just from being a rental platform to everything related to property, whether it's buying, renting, buying a new property, home services, financial services where you can take home loans, rent payment. We even have a society management app called No Brokerhood, which takes care of your visitors at the gate, financials of the society. It creates a collaboration platform within the society. So I think we are more like Amazon for real estate. Anything and everything related to real estate happens here. And the journey has just started with the 6 cities in India. And there's a long way and a big market to capture in years to come.
I'm wishing you a lot of success on that front. So, yeah, it was an absolute pleasure to talk with you on the podcast today.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Rohit. Very nice talking to you. Bye bye.